Hey guys, first of all, I would like to apologize for the delay and for the quality of this narration. It is my first try, I'm not good at it, but there are some things that is hard to explain in the written form, so I decided to try. If you are interested, then tune in and be patient. First of all, let's refer to the main question of our today's meeting, which is, did we actually hit the final bottom? Are we set for a new bull run? A lot of people are concerned about it, especially those who didn't catch this reversal and the following pump with it. They constantly ask me in DMs, what should we do? Should we jump into the living train or wait for a new correction? Well, my short and general answer to that would be, if you are trading with high leverage, then trade according to what you see on the chart in the moment. If you're trying to build the bigger game like I do now, meaning finding the best possible price on the market and make a fundamental investment for the next cycle's bull run, then you should definitely stay calm, be patient, and wait for the lower prices to come, especially if you are going to invest in the altcoins. And this is what I was telling my followers on Twitter for the last 2 weeks. Don't make any rush decisions. And I have got a lot of reasons for that. But before we proceed to those reasons, let's stick to Bitcoin chart for a while. To be honest with you guys, I guess it was the first time in a while that I didn't call the bottom myself and didn't jump in here too. I mean, I knew that after such a long one-sided downtrend, the retracement should happen very, very soon. But there was one thing that was bothering me, and that thing is the fact that Bitcoin dived deeply into the lower range. Usually when we dive that deep, the retracements we have always meet the resistance upon the range is high and get back lower down. But this time was a little bit different. Let's look at this situation and figure out why this happened. Well, the recovery started during the weekend, and when it started, I started to draw this supporting line to understand where the invalidation is going to be, and it worked out properly. We were ascending and then broke this line and then went down a little bit, but then the market maker saved the situation. It can look like the pure manipulation by the market maker, but if you look at the higher time frame, at the weekly chart, you will understand that it wasn't. As the previous weekly closed with a bullish pin bar, it was completely logical that the second one is going to be an ascending week. So this recovery was logical. And as the market, as the Bitcoin was dragged into a higher range, I got my confirmation and I started opening longs. If you follow me on Twitter, you know that I was opening my long on Polkadot at 1950, and I told that I will be holding it until this channel's high, and I did. I closed my long at $22, and I said if we are going to break this channel, I'm going to long again. And I took my long here again and was holding it. Yes, the price soared a little bit, but then it got absorbed, and this is when it was absorbed I understood that there is no go further, and I closed my long with a slight profit. And since then I wasn't longing anymore. Moreover, I was opening shorts on Solana and BNB. Who follows me on Twitter knows that. So why did I stop longing? The reason for that is very interesting. Um, I extended this line that used to be a support and notice that it is very obedient and it works as a resistance from now. And I understood that the market maker doesn't want us to break this line, because if we break it, the price of Bitcoin is going to pump heavily. And it was proven when we tried to break it once and it got absorbed very fast. But why it was absorbed that fast and why it this resistance was so strong? To understand that, we have to turn on our Kijun indicator. And as you see, I understood that the price was going very consecutively and slowly because the market maker wants to keep the price under within this Kijun resistance. But why he wants to do that? Then we should switch to the weekly chart and we will see that if we pump further, we will break this strong weekly Kijun resistance. And this resistance is very strong. If you follow me on Twitter, you know why. I'm not going to tell it here again, maybe in the next video. But this resistance is very, very important and very strong. The second reason is the super trend indicator. Let's switch to it. A lot of people got very excited when Bitcoin broke its long-term global counter trend line and also broke its daily super trend resistance. But the thing is, the fact that we broke it is a good thing. It is the first step. It is the first step, but it doesn't mean that the market is going up, because after breaking the super trend resistance, we have to test the super trend support somewhere here or here. And only if we test it successfully, we can go up further. But we didn't. So today for Bitcoin is a very important day where we will find out whether we hold this super trend support. If the daily closes above this green super trend supporting line, not breaking this line, then we are set to a higher move. If not, we are going to slide a little bit down, then try to test the resistance of the channel of the range again, and then we will fall further lower to our global support line. So under such conditions, there are two ways for me to become bullish for the midterm period, at least. If we hold this super trend support and go up, or if on weekly chart we will break this super trend resistance and hold it, then it will become our strongest support and we will go to test to $57,000 as a super trend resistance. But I doubt that we are going there now, because we have plenty of bearish weekly candles that can provide us with some green little candles, but they will end with a dump. So this is my vision for Bitcoin. Now let's refer to my reasons why I think the prices, especially on altcoins, are going to be much lower. You see, a lot of people were very happy that Bitcoin broke its global counter trend line and especially super trend resistance. But at the same time, the altcoins who were following the Bitcoin, they were following it slowly and reluctantly. When Bitcoin was breaking its super trend resistance, the altcoins weren't. They were testing their super trend resistance as resistance, and they failed to break it. If you see this, Bitcoin pump for the altcoins was nothing more than testing of the super trend resistance and um, the retracement to um, technically test the global ascending trend lines we were holding for a while, and now we broke it. And now we test it as resistance, and now we are set to go lower. And you can see similar formations on a lot of altcoins. See Solana. If you follow me on Twitter, you saw that I predicted that this area is going to be our resistance area, and we will be rejected here and will go lower. And if you look at my last tweet, this is what I was telling you is going to happen. We are going to at least $60. Although I think during the capitulation, Solana can even reach $50-$40. I'd say that $50 is a good long-term buy. The second reason, when this bounce on Bitcoin happened and on the market, we left a lot of uncovered wicks on the altcoins. So the second reason for me to remain macro bullish on the market is that altcoins, when Bitcoin pumps, if we leave such an uncovered wicks, we always come back to close them and usually go even lower. Let's look at the REN. If you follow me on Twitter, you know that I use REN often, and it is a great macro indicator for me. You see, when we left this week, I knew that the price will sooner or later will come back to this price, and maybe it will go lower. If you follow me on Twitter and know my recommendations, I made a macro recommendation to accumulate REN in this zone, the zone of 9.20 cents. If you don't remember, last time I told you about inappropriately closed wick here, and it looked like we are going to the moon here, but I told you that we will be back because we didn't cover properly this week, and we went back eventually and went even lower. Kind of the same situation I wait here. Maybe we will test it and get a bounce, get rejected here and go back lower and go lower. Or maybe we will break this resistance and we'll go to at least 50 cents or even at 70-80 cents, depends on the market mood. But what is the appropriate week closing? Let's look how the appropriate reversal week should look. This is the appropriately covered wicks. This one also can qualify. This one no. When we left this uncovered wick, the price came back. This is simple. This is how the market makers' algorithms work. They tend to close the uncovered wicks and tend to recover untraded spaces. Here's one more good. Okay, we are over with this one. Let's proceed to other reason. Additionally, to better understand the situation on the market, I use my crypto total market cap chart to understand what is going on. And if you see it worked perfectly for me to understand the market reversals lately. Yeah, we broke this R2 resistance and channel to the upside, then found this double resistance and went back into the lower range. I think we still have the opportunity to bounce from here, but we will meet another resistance and we will be back lower. We will be descending to 128, 130 trillion market cap. This is my vision. I don't know yet. This is not the advice for the investment or for trading. It is just my thoughts. If we break it, of course, we will go here, test this support again, and will go up. An additional indicator for me to understand the market direction, especially when the major charts look uncertain, are the top altcoins in my list. And let's look at the Luna. It all looks like it has already had a decent correction and it can go up. And I can agree with that partially. I can agree that it can technically, if we break the local resistance, can actually go to 72, 75, but then we will be going lower again and we'll be going much lower. But there is a chance we are going this way, finding this rejection, going here, another rejection here, finding local support, then testing the global ranges resistance, and then proceed to the descending. Why I am so sure about Luna going much lower, especially Luna? Well, we should look at the higher time frames, the ones that the so-called traders usually don't look. On the weekly, it also looks like it has descended enough, but on the monthly, it doesn't look so. You see, this candle tells us that whoever was buying and accumulating below here or higher, they were all distributing here. All the accumulation and all the upside movement has been absorbed already here. So depending on how this monthly, we have to follow closely how this monthly is going to close. There are two kind of scenarios I see here. When we have a candle like this, it means that the bull run for this coin is over and it won't be restored until it gets played out fully. And to be played out fully, it has to go lower from this place, at least to the size of this candle. And depending on how this monthly is going to close, we will be able to define its local movements. For example, if we close like this or with a red candle like this. We will have another candle here green, and we'll have another candle green here, but then we'll have some uncertainty, and this big absorbing candle will take into force, and we will have the long-awaited reversal, and we will be back into the 28-30 area. I think that 22 is going to be our bottom, very bottom, if the capitulation on the Bitcoin market comes. So you got to understand that this absorbing big reversal candle tells us that there is no new all-time highs or bull runs for the Luna in the closest time. The same thing we can see on sushi. You see, the same thing we can see signs on the sushi chart. Kind of looks like it is ready to recover, but it would be only locally if we do so. On the higher time frames, it looks badly. If you look at this chart, you will see that our previous monthly on sushi closed with this oblong candle, and from the candle formation analysis, this means that we either fall straight away down to $2 or $1, or we will start recovery if we close somewhere here, if we save this monthly candle, and we will have then some local recovery to somewhere to $7, and then test the counter trend resistance, global counter trend resistance again, and then we will fall back down to the prices we mentioned before. This is destined. This is not the question of if, this is the question of when. Also, the same thing I was talking about on FTM. You see, when we first saw this absorbing candle, I told you that the game is over for Phantom. It is the candle that is called death, that it is over. And I think that, and I told you on my Twitter account that we will see Phantom at 155, but I actually think that we will see it much lower, somewhere at 120, $1, maybe even lower. But I think that $1 would be a great spot to buy, a safe spot. Another one, I told you that Atom is going to, I don't remember, to $22. I said yes, at $22, somewhere here at our global trend lines support, but there's a chance it's going lower. Why? I'll find a clear. Yes, no, that is not clear. Okay, this is my trend line. If you look at the weekly, this is what we were playing when I saw, if you remember and you following me on Twitter, I was telling that this absorbing candle was telling us everything we had to know. Even when Bitcoin dragged us up with its fake pump, it still couldn't break its all-time high, and we got absorbed again. And this candle was actually the sign that we are not going anywhere higher the previous all-time high. So when we got absorbed, I wasn't surprised, and I told that we are going lower to the similar size of this upper candle, and you see that it became true, and we even went a little bit lower. But from the monthly perspective, as we see, we got a strong absorbing candle on the monthly. So this move is not over. We can swing higher a little bit, test 32, I don't know, even 36, whatever, if we get saved within this month. But if we dump, then we will have great entries. And let's proceed to the last reason why I still remain macro bullish for the crypto market. To show you why, I have to refer to the Bitcoin chart once again. What can I say? If you follow a lot of crypto influencers and bloggers and traders, experts, and they always tell you about some bullish patterns, bullish setups and formations. And if these traders only tell you and show you the bullish setups, they are not traders. They are enthusiasts. They whatever they can be called. They are not traders. Why? Because the traders, they always see and they show and they trade any direction. Whether it is a bullish or a short formation, they will tell you about it, they will show you it. And how many formations, bearish formations, have you heard from your crypto influencers lately? Did your crypto influencers show you something that I'm gonna show you now? Let's look at this. OMG, a lot of trend lines on my charts. Okay, what do you see here? This is the highest time frame on the Bitcoin chart. And what do you see here? Did your crypto influencers tell you about it? This is the so-called three black crows pattern. And you know what it means? It means that the price from it has to capitulate. There are two possible scenarios. It doesn't mean that it will fall straight away, but there are a couple of scenarios how it can play out. It can draw a capitulating candle straight away, or if this monthly gets saved, or if this monthly gets saved, we will see something like this. We can go here, test this, and be back, leaving the red pin bar or even a little green pin bar, and the next one is going to be the green one, and the second is going to be a green one, and then we will see the deviation and we will be back lower. We're going low, even somewhere here, I guess. Maybe even lower. So these three black crows tell us that no matter what happens, the market maker can delay this dump, but it will happen sooner or later, 100%, whether you like it or not. There will be no $100,000 or new bull runs until we play out this three black crows pattern. We can delay it for 2 months or 3 months, 2 or 3 months, but it will come to our price anyway. And that corresponds to my theory that I was talking about in my tweets from the last drop to 30,000 that allowed me to predict that Bitcoin is not going to $100,000 in 2021. If you want to know about this theory and how did I predict all the major reversals on the crypto market in 2021, then hit the thumbs up or write in the comments if you want to see this next video where I will be revealing my hidden strategy and theory, and that will help you understand the market's direction and mood. Thank you for your attention and good luck. Take care. Don't make any rash decisions and wait for the lower. Goodbye. Thank you.